As long as you have blind faith in yourself. Now, I'm not saying to have blind faith in other people. Some of us do that. Like we get on these football games and these basketball games and stuff, and we got so much money on this particular player. We got blind faith that this team is going to go to the playoffs. I got blind faith that this team is going to win the Super Bowl. Most people have blind faith in stuff like that. But if you want to really achieve things in life, instead of having blind faith in a particular sport player, have blind faith in yourself. Say things to yourself like affirmations, like, my name is Tony Reed. I deserve to be happy in life. See, when you say things like that to yourself, those positive affirmations that gets the cogs, the wheels spinning inside of your head. And when those wheels get to turning inside of your head like an old tank, that's when stuff really starts to jump off of you. Good evening, and welcome to another episode of the Mindset Master Podcast. I'm your host, Tony Reed, and I'm also the proprietor of the podcast. And in today's episode, we're going to be talking about blind faith. You may be wondering, Tony, what does blind faith really mean? I'm going to break everything down for you in this episode here. We're going to be talking about a few examples of blind faith. I'm going to tell you what blind faith is, and I'm going to tell you how to walk in blind faith. So if you want to learn more about blind faith and achieving the things that you want to achieve out of life based off you having faith in yourself, stay tuned to the end of this episode. Let me get started off by talking about what exactly is blind faith. Blind faith is going to be that feeling that you have in your heart, that you have in your chest, that you can do something. So let me give an example. Let's just say if you were a high school student and you went out for the football team. You know you're a really good football player. You know this without a shadow of a doubt. You go out for the football team. You don't even have to think about whether or not you made the team or not, solely based upon your resilience in football. So when you get that call that next week from the coach, hey man, you just made the team. See, you would have already known that you would have made the team solely based off of your love for the game and your knowledge of the game. You didn't even have to think, man, I wonder, did I make the team? You knew you made the team. Why did you know that you made the team? Because you had blind faith. See, blind faith, it could be subconsciously or it can be consciously. It doesn't necessarily matter how you conjure up blind faith. Blind faith is going to be the absolute best way to help you achieve the things that you want out of life. If you don't have faith in yourself, I guarantee you whatever it is that you're trying to achieve in life or whatever goal or whatnot you're trying to achieve, if you don't have faith in yourself, I guarantee you're not going to really be able to achieve that goal. You may get some variation of that goal, but in order for you to realistically achieve the goal that you are set out to achieve, you have to have blind faith. Let me give an example of something with me in my life with blind faith. When I first met my wife, how I met her, somebody broke into my house, cleaned me out, and left me with nothing basically, except for the clothes I had on my back that day. I went out to the local mall and I went there for 5 days straight, and I would get like 2 pair of pants and I would get like 2 white t-shirts each and every day until I built my clothes back up. On my 3rd day of going to the mall to go shopping for myself, I seen this girl in the store and she was dressed in the little mannequins and stuff like that, and I was like, man, that's gonna be my wife. I don't even know this girl. I don't even know if she's married. I don't even know if she has kids. I don't know her situation. I don't know anything about this lady, but all that I know is she's gonna be mine. I saw her, me and my wife, we made eye contact, and I walked into the store, and 12 years later, here we are, still happily married. See, that was blind faith. And see, if you're trying to start, let's say like a YouTube channel, or if you're trying to start like a business or something like that, it is absolutely imperative that you have blind faith in yourself. A lot of times we'll have faith in ourselves if somebody else, like if a third party, has faith in you. So for example, let's just say if I didn't naturally believe in myself and my ability, but then my cousin said, Tony, you got this, man. You can do this. See, that's me having faith, but that's not blind faith. faith. Blind faith is going to be you going into the unknown. That was just regular faith that you had in your cousin, and your cousin had faith in you. And nothing wrong with that. But blind faith means that you absolutely trust the universe and all the powers that be. And that also lets the universe know that you do trust yourself. Because if you can bet on yourself, nothing can really hurt you. Because that is the best thing to bet on, is going to be you. You as a person is going to be the absolute best investment that you can make in the whole universe. Investing in yourself. I'm not talking about going out buying Lambos, and I'm not talking about stuff like that. I'm talking about really investing in your thought process, in your mind, in your noodle. Really investing in your growth as a human being. That's where that blind faith comes in at. Because if you have blind faith, I guarantee you can walk through any corridor and know that you will come out unscathed on the other side. And so let me give you another example about blind faith. Some of you may or may not know that I used to write movies in Hollywood. So I left here in Tennessee and I went out to the West Coast, me and my wife, and we lived out there. I knew that this was long before I even thought about anything with like YouTube or anything about my podcast. I left Tennessee, my home state, to go out to the West Coast to pursue a dream that I had. I had faith, but I didn't have blind faith. See, all of my friends who used to read my material back in high school and back in Barber College and when I went to Tennessee State, all of those good people would say, Tony, man, you ought to be a writer one day. So I told myself, I was like, man, you know what? Everybody keeps saying I can do this. I can do it. But again, it wasn't blind faith. It was just regular faith. So once that opportunity came around and Tennessee, sold my house, me and my wife moved out to the West Coast to start a brand new life. Nobody really told me how good I was on the West Coast. Back home in the South here, everybody told me how good I was with my writing ability. But when I got out there to the West Coast, all those other good screenwriters and storytellers and stuff like that, nobody told me, Tony, man, this is the best script I had ever read. Nobody told me that. So I started losing faith in myself because I didn't have that support system pushing behind me on the West Coast like I had right here in Tennessee. I didn't have that out there. So I don't know what I was thinking about, but for some reason I just lost my head, so to speak, and didn't really have a good faith connection with myself because I didn't have people whispering in my ear. I didn't need regular faith. What I needed blind faith, because I guarantee you, if I would have had blind faith in myself, I would have made something out of myself in the movie career industry. I would have, because I knew I can do it. But I only knew I can do it because of based upon what my friends and relatives and stuff like that have been telling me about my writing and my creative ability. So I already knew I could do it, but I just had to have something behind me pushing. Once I stopped writing movies, I just got tired of doing it. And I was like, man, you know what? I need to make something shake. I need to make something happen in life for myself. I need to control my own destiny. You know what? What do I need to do? What do I need to do? So I started looking up every kind of opportunity that I can find to put some money in my pocket. My wife was like, Tony, why don't you go on YouTube? Why don't you like talk to people on camera? And I told my wife, I was like, man, I'm not finna talk to nobody on camera. Who gonna listen to me? She was like, well, Tony, people like talking to you. Now, I had already knew people like talking to me because of my upbringing from being raised inside of a barbershop. Like if you like a bartender or a barber or a cosmetologist, nail tech, any kind of thing like that, you have to have that natural ability to talk to people, because if you don't, you ain't gonna make no money unless you like a shop owner and you getting booth rent and stuff like that. But if you're actually in the shop, you have to know how to talk to people, because talking to people is gonna be your mouthpiece to get you more business. My wife was like, Tony, why don't you get on YouTube? I'm like, you know what? I watch YouTube all the time. I kind of know about it. Let me get started. I know I can do this. Once my wife put that bug in my ear about YouTube, I started having blind faith. I started telling myself, man, I'm going to be monetized. I don't know how. I don't know when. I don't know what I'm have to do to be monetized. All I know is I'm going to be monetized really, really soon. Within the next 3 years, I'm going to have my channel monetized. I kept saying that to myself every single day when I make my videos. I kept saying that. I kept saying it in my brain. I have have the ability to be monetized. I have the ability. The things I talk about are good enough. The things that I'm discussing, they're relevant topics for people's lives. These things can actually help people. Let me put my best foot forward. And I'll be doggone, 2.5 years later, now my channel is fully monetized. That's because I had the blind faith. My wife, yes, she put the little seed in my head, but she didn't keep telling me how good I am in talking to people. She didn't do that. She just put the seed of thought in my brain. And when she did that, it was up to me at that point to take it to the next level. It was up to me to grab my life by my own hand and walk myself through life the way I want to walk myself through life. Now, my channel is monetized. And see, that's what I'm saying. You have to have blind faith. At first, I didn't have blind faith. I just had regular old normal faith. Nothing wrong with that. Normal faith to get you somewhere too. But I absolutely guarantee you that blind faith will get you so much more further in life than regular old faith. That's gonna be that detour. Instead of you going all the way around the city, that blind faith is make you cut right through, and you're gonna hit that finish line a whole lot quicker and a whole lot smoother without any kind of headaches, hiccups, or hang-ups. Once you have blind faith, that means that you believe in yourself. If you're ready to take your journey of mindset mastery to the next level and dive even deeper into mindfulness and also meditation, well, I've got a fantastic resource just for you. Inside, you're going to find step-by-step instructions, valuable insight, and also practical exercises to help you enhance your mindset and bring more positive changes to your life. This guide is the roadmap to success. To get your hands on this exclusive resource, click the link below in the description. Let me talk about another topic about having blind faith. See, when you have blind faith, what that means is that you cannot get discouraged. If I would have got discouraged when I first started my YouTube channel because I wasn't immediately monetized. See, some people have to see an immediate response or an immediate action before they really buckle down and do what they need to do. I didn't see no action in that aspect. I didn't see that. All I knew was that I was going to have my channel monetized. Just like with my wife. I didn't know her situation. I didn't even know she had a boyfriend and she was married. I didn't know what her situation was. All I knew was that she was going to be mine. When I went to go talk to her, she was single. She didn't have a boyfriend. She never been married, never had kids before. So I did not know any of that until I developed that blind faith. And then with that blind faith, it got me all of the answers that I needed and everything that I wanted to hear, because that let me know blind faith actually works. As long as you have blind faith in yourself. Now, I'm not saying to have blind faith in other people. Some of us do that. Like we get to on these football games and these basketball games and stuff, and we got so much money on this particular player, we got blind faith that this team is going to go to the playoffs. I got blind faith that this team is going to win the Super Bowl. Most people have blind faith in stuff like that. But if you want to really achieve things in life, instead of having blind faith in a particular sport player, have blind faith in yourself. Say things to yourself like affirmations like, my name is Tony Reed. I deserve to be happy in life. My name is Tony Reed. I deserve all of the good things in life. See, when you say things like that to yourself, those positive affirmations, that gets the cogs, the wheels spinning inside of your head. And when those wheels get to turning inside of your head like an old tank, that's when stuff really starts to jump off of you. That's when things really start to transpire the right way for you, because you got that blind faith. That's the same way as if somebody is an eighth of a mile from their exit, they're 3 lanes over, and they skate 3 lanes over and get off at the exit just in the nick of time. Now, you might be thinking, man, that person was foolish. How did he know he was gonna make it? Or how did she know she was gonna make it? The reason why they made it, because they had blind faith. They knew that once they eased over 3 lanes, once they merged 3 lanes over, they knew that they wasn't gonna get in no accident. And that's the same thing in life. If you want to start a business or whatever you want to do, let's just use this example of starting a business. If you want to start a business, then you have to have blind faith that whatever product or whatever service that you have or that you are selling is going to be good enough for people to patronize your business. But if you sit back and be like, man, you know what, man, ain't nobody gonna buy these little cookies that I'm making, man, you know what, this stuff is stupid anyway, then nobody's going to patronize your business. And then you cannot get mad at the next person who's having massive success in his, her, or their business because you didn't have blind faith like that other individual had blind faith. Blind faith cures everything. If you have blind faith, that means that you fully trust in yourself, you fully trust in the universe, you fully trust in the powers that be. See, all of those players come together to make life happen for you. You have to do with your life happening. The universe has to do with your life happening. A lot of other variables come into play to make your life happen. But the thing is, most individuals don't have that blind faith in life to know that whatever they encounter, they can come out on the other side the victor. That's just like I was talking to my wife. Before my wife got her business started, she didn't have blind faith. So I had to work with my wife and tell her, baby, you gotta have blind faith. Because what she was doing, she was seeing success. But then she would start thinking, I just made $250 today. Man, life is going too good. Man, something gotta be wrong. I would tell my wife, baby, stop saying stuff like that. Life is good. Life don't have to go wrong for life to be right. Some people have that philosophy that you gotta struggle in life. Like you gotta get shot, you gotta get ran over by a car, you gotta have your back broke. All these negative things gotta happen to you before you feel like you deserve something good to happen to you in life. Why does negativity have to happen before some people feel like that they deserve positivity? And that's kind of how my wife's mindset used to be. Now, she would tell me I can do it, but she would tell herself that she can't do it. My wife had faith in me, but at that time, she didn't have blind faith. And she kept wondering why she wasn't hitting her marks that she wanted to hit in life. She kept wondering why when she got another car, 2 days later, she had a flat tire. See, I would have to tell her, baby, that's not nothing negative. That's just a mishap that happened in life. That has absolutely nothing to do with your blind faith because you ran over a roofing nail. We have a lot of tornadoes here in Tennessee. So if you hit a roofing nail, that's okay. That's common. So go on down to the tire shop, get your tire changed, but don't think that that's something negative that happened solely because you had faith or because you received something positive in life. If you like this episode today thus far, please press that like and subscribe button for me. Never let anything make you not have faith in yourself. See, again, like I mentioned, most people have more faith in a football player, soccer player, baseball player than they have in their own selves. And that's actually a crying shame, because why would you have more faith in this individual who you probably never even seen and met in real life in person? You might have went to one of their games, but I'm pretty sure you haven't went up there and shook their hand or nothing like that. You probably just spectating from a distance. But you have more confidence that this one man can take the championship team across the finish line. You don't know anything about this individual, but that this person is a good sports person. He can play ball good. He can dribble and stuff real good. Now you feel like that he can hit that three-pointer, win game 6, and get you your money that you had bet. But then you want to start a business. You sit back telling yourself, man, you know what? This is something silly right here, man. I can't do this, man. It's too much work. But you got faith in this man here who goes to the gym 30,000 times a day to practice that same shot that won game 6. You believe in that, but you don't believe in you. See, you are the most important individual in your life. You should be. You should love yourself so much that you would do anything for yourself. See, a lot of times we'll get to putting other people's happiness in front of our own happiness. And then when things don't pan out right in life, typically we'll put the finger on that person who didn't really ask you to put them ahead of you. See, most of us in life as humans, we'll try to subconsciously put people's emotions, their feelings, and things like that ahead of our own. But see, when you have blind faith, all of that stuff is null and void, because the universe is going to give you what you want because you're walking into blind faith. Just like, you know, when you go to start your car, you know your car is going to start up because you got a good fresh hot battery in your car. You know that puppy is going to start up. You know this. You got blind faith that you're going to make it to work safely and soundly in one piece. You have blind faith. But when people want to achieve a task or achieve a goal in life, for some reason they lose that blind blind faith. Blind faith is all around. But when it comes crunch time, some people drop the ball. Oops. And then blind faith is out the window like a thief in the middle of the evening. So you have to always keep blind faith in the clutch. You never want to lose your blind faith in yourself. Sometimes it might kind of pay you to lose that faith in other people, and that faith that you had in other people, suck that back up and put that back into yourself. Never have more faith in somebody else than you have in yourself. And that about wraps it up for today's episode. Until next time, I'll catch you later.